Hi, and welcome to 24 Wheelers. Today, we're talking about my 5 best practices for rider safety when you're out there on the highway, taking trips, having adventures, and just enjoying the open road. Before we jump in, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd invite you to do so. All right, let's get started. All right, my first tip is to choose your lane intentionally. Of course, this only applies to when you're riding solo and not with a group. You can view any lane on the road when it pertains to motorcycle riding as providing 3 lane positions, position 1, 2, and 3, or you can call it left, center, and right, respectively. There's no one best choice for lane position, as it always depends on the situation. Choose the best position based on road conditions, traffic, proximity to other vehicles, and whatever gives you the best chance for avoiding morons on their phones, because they're out there. To give an example, if I'm on a normal highway, I'm typically going to be in the left lane, in position 1, or all the way to the left. Assuming all other road conditions are normal, this gives me the best view of the road and the most distance from other drivers, which at the end of the day is what I'm looking for. There's no one right way or wrong way to do this. Just think about it, be aware, and choose the position that provides you the most comfort. All right, number 2 is be aware of other drivers. This is all about situational awareness, or knowing what other drivers are doing. Of course, this isn't unique to motorcycle riding, but just driving in traffic in general. In fact, when I was teaching my kids to drive, I told them that the difference between a good driver and a smart driver is that the smart driver knows not only what he or she is doing, obviously, but they're also aware of the people, or in this case, the cars around them. You have to basically learn to predict or anticipate accurately what the other people around you are doing. Stay alert, stay aware, and just pay attention. Number 3 is escape and evade. More specifically, position yourself strategically at stoplights. Now, I always position myself at stoplights or really any slow moving or halted traffic to enable escape if and when needed. That means when I'm at a stoplight, for example, I immediately choose where I'm going to go should a vehicle come up from behind me and fail to stop or even slow down. Really, I make that decision before I even come to a stop because I position myself accordingly. Even on a big bike, there's almost always a crease that I can fit into in an emergency if I need to get out of the way. So plan ahead and be ready. All right, tip number 4 is keep it in gear. As a follow-up to the last point perhaps, while at a stoplight, keep your bike in gear and your clutch pulled in or engaged so you're ready to move if and when needed. I'm always surprised by the amount of riders I see sitting at stoplights with their hands folded on their lap, the bike sitting in neutral, and completely unprepared for the unexpected. I keep the bike in first gear, both hands on the grip, with my clutch engaged and my right foot up on the floorboards, holding the rear brake. That leaves my foot planted on the ground, obviously giving myself stability, and ready to move when needed. Hey, speaking of, this isn't an additional point per se, but perhaps more of a pet peeve. Man, get your feet up quickly when taking off. Don't be that guy that lets his feet hang for a quarter of a mile down the road when moving from a stop. You look like a doofus that doesn't know how to handle his bike. Just don't do it. All right, my 5th and final best practice is give them some space. When cruising, I'm looking for ideally 3 to 4 second spacing behind cars at least. Giving adequate space behind cars while moving down the road not only provides the reaction time that you need if traffic suddenly stops or slows down, which it often does, it provides you with a better view for potential road hazards, which frankly might even be more important. Obstacles in the road and potholes can really ruin your day and your bike. Your ability to see them in time and be able to react is paramount. If you're following too closely behind the car in front of you, your view is severely diminished and you are less capable of making an evasive maneuver when needed. All right, those are my top 5 best practices for riding safely when you're out there on the highway, getting some wind therapy, and enjoying your motorcycle. Of course, there's other things that we could mention. This isn't meant to be an exhaustive list. These are simply the 5 most common things that I think about, 5 most common practices that I put into place in my everyday riding. But I would love to hear from you. Or what are the things that you keep in mind? What are the things that you practice and that you do in order to stay safe out there on the highway? I'd love to hear about those. Please drop those in the comments section. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like. And then also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching today, and remember, whether on the road or on the trail, I'll see you out there.